What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. You're watching the channel Dr. Applesauce 2. My name is Will. Today I'm bringing you guys a very special video. A lot of people requested this. I am going to show you guys how to submit cards for grading to PSA and to CGC. Now, a couple caveats, okay? I'm not going to show you how to submit things to Beckett, but it's the same general process. If you've done it for one or two and you decide to go do it for Beckett, there might be a few things that are different, but overall it's the same thing, okay? Also, I'm not going to be really going over a lot of like how to determine if this card is going to be this grade or that card's going to be that grade. This is all just you assuming that you know the cards that you want to grade, but you just have never done the process before of actually doing your own submission, because I know the first time I did it, I was super intimidated, and it's not that hard. So we're going to kind of go through and walk through everything and show you guys a couple different dynamics to talk about, a couple different things that you'll need to see as I show you. But I think this will be a very valuable video walking people through how to actually submit things to be graded, because it's really not that difficult, and it can be a great way to do it yourself and to save a little bit of money. Guys, if this is your first time to the channel and you like Pokemon and unboxings and news and how-tos and stuff like that, I bring you guys 2 or 3 videos a week about all those types of a thing. So if you like that, I hope you'll hit that subscription button and hit that notification bell. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It's free for you to do, and it really does help YouTube to know that people are enjoying the video. And I know this is a little bit of a different setup. This is where I do all my editing. This is my desk. Normally, y'all are used to the pretty top-down and all that good stuff, but we're going to jump right into this. A few things for you guys to know. I'm going to go over CGC and I'm going to go over PSA, okay? Like I said, it's pretty much the same process, so if you went to go to Beckett, you could do that as well. A couple things to know is by the time you're watching this, CGC has probably raised their prices, so the prices that you'll see on screen are going to be a little bit behind, but that doesn't change any of the process, okay? I'm just starting this because I have a bulk submission that I want to send in, and I got to get it in before those prices rise. So that's the first thing to know. Second thing to know is I have an account with PSA, but I don't have a bulk account, so I can only submit at a certain level. As of right now, I think new accounts for PSA are closed. That doesn't mean that won't change in the future, so this will still be a very valuable video for the future. And I know a lot of y'all have accounts for PSA and you just, have never submitted, so this will still be helpful for you guys. Now, if you can't get an account through PSA, you might consider CGC because it's faster, it's cheaper, or you might consider a middleman. You can research your own way how to find middlemen. I've never used a middleman, so I don't really have any to recommend. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into this, and I'm going to show you guys step by step how to submit your cards to be graded through PSA and CGC. Okay, so you guys can see right here we are on the PSA website, just www.psacard.com. If you're watching this at a later date and accounts have been opened to where you can, actually start an account and get a new membership, then you're going to want to do that first. If you already have a membership, then you can just jump right into this. If you don't have a membership, you just want to watch and see how to learn, and then we'll go to CGC after this. That is something that that you can do as well. But so for me, what we're going to do is we're just going to click right here, submit. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? And then we're just going to press start. And we're going to go right here, start a new submission. So I am going to start a new submission, okay? And then here's the first thing that you want to do. We're talking about how to submit for Pokemon cards. This is also relevant if you're submitting for Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering or anything like that. But we're just going to select this right here that says regular or small sized cards, okay? And press next. And then we're submitting for grading. We're not doing reviews, crossovers, reholders, or anything like that. We are going to submit for grading. And then all of this, I know people get caught up on all of this. Basically, we're doing no autograph authentication. So no autograph authentication, no autograph grade, yes card authentication, yes card grade. So that's what we're going to select. All these other options, you can get an autograph authenticated, you can with the card authenticated, you can, do the card grade, all kinds of different stuff. Just for a normal card grading submission, we're going to pick this one right here, no autograph authentication, and then come down here and go to next. And here's the interesting thing right now. The only options that are available are the super duper nice options. So the cheapest option that's available right now is the regular service at a pricing of $50 a card. Now, don't be alarmed if you have a bulk account or, you know, if you're watching this later and you have options available to you that are lower than this, it's the same exact process. The only thing that would be different is if you submit via bulk, you're going to have to input the specifically required amount of bulk cards before you can go beyond the entry and, you know, actually submit for billing and everything. So for the purposes of the tutorial, we're going to pick the regular pricing right here. And then press next. And then this is where people get really confused, but it's really not that hard, okay? So right here, we're going to enter a description. So let's just pick something simple that a lot of people know right now. So we're going to put Charizard VMAX, and we're going to do... All right, so here we go. 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield Champions Path Full Art Charizard VMAX Secret Rare. Boom! Pick it right there, okay? So now we have our card selected. Right here under minimum grade, all this is I always leave it right here with nothing selected. If you want to send it and say, I don't want anything unless it's under a 9. If it comes back under a 9, I don't want it graded, then you would select that. And if you selected that, what would happen is, let's close this window so I can explain it to you guys. If you select that, what would happen is if the card was graded under a 9, they would not grade it and they would send it back to you. Now, I want my cards, and most people want their cards graded. However, you know, you pretty much know if it's going to be graded well or not. You don't want to send off trash cards to be graded. So I always leave that blank right there. And then you're going to put your declared value total right here. And I've talked to people at PSA, and I've talked to people at CGC, and there's so many different opinions in the community, okay? Basically, this declared value is for insurance purposes. How much is it going to cost you to replace the card if it's lost while it's being shipped? How much is it going to cost you to replace the card? I would go out and buy a new raw card. So I put the declared value of the card raw. So let's just call this card, let's just say liberally it's worth $400, okay? So boom, there we go. We've got our minimum grades. We don't have it selected. We have our card selected. We have our declared value, and then we're going to save that. Bada bing, bada boom. We over here, we see we've got one card at $50, and then you just repeat that process for however many cards you are going to submit, and then you press next. And then when you get over here to next, you basically have this. You'll have your address over here, which I'll have blocked out because it's my address. You'll have your insured shipping for this service is going to be 14 bucks. I just go with the insured shipping. I don't have any vouchers. And then you come down here and you input your information for payment, and then you press next. And then once you have submitted, you get your submission form. It gives you your directions on basically how to put everything in order, how to package everything, all that good stuff. Make sure to follow these directions. It's very simple. I will show you how to package everything, but this will be your form that you include when you send it off. And then that's essentially as easy as it is for the submission. So I will go over how to do all of the packing and everything here in just a minute. Okay, and that was PSA. It's as simple as that, guys. It's really not difficult. And so we're over here at CGC now, okay? So we're at CGC, and, you know, here's the CGC's main website and all that good stuff. Something I wanted to show you guys, if you wanted to, you could snag, apparently CGC has their own semi-rigid card holders and sleeves. These look just like Card Saver ones, which is what you're going to need to have your cards in when you send them off to be submitted, Card Saver ones. They're not hard to find. You can get them on Amazon. This is kind of what you want to submit your cards in. And it looks like CGC has some. So I guess you could buy those from CGC yourself, which I think is kind of cool. So I'm going to show you how to do the CGC process, okay? So we're going to come right over to here, and we're going to go to My Submissions. And then you'll come over here. This is how I find it, okay? So submission forms, trading cards, online form, okay? Again, this is assuming you've already started your account, you've selected your levels, your tiers, all that stuff. It's very simple to do, and once you've done all of that, you're at this point on how to submit. So we're going to do trading cards, we're going to click the trading cards online submission form, and then we're going to come over here and we're going to select the type of collectible we want to submit. We're going to submit a trading card. And then we're going to do a mail in because I can't go drop it off. And we're going to be doing grading. And then we're going to select next. Okay. And then here's where it gets pretty fun. So you have your quantity of your card 1. The game that we're doing is Pokemon. The language is English. Okay. Because we're going to fill out for this Celebi Amazing Rare is what we're going to fill out right here. The card name is Celebi. Okay, so it's not Celebi and Venusaur, Celebi EX. Literally the card name is Celebi. So we're going to do Celebi. the card number, this actually, I like CGC's flow. It's a lot easier to find the exact card. The card number is 9 of 185. So if I select 9 of 185, it fills out everything else for me. The set name is Vivid Voltage, the year that it came out. I'm going to select my variant of Amazing Rare because this is the Amazing Rare variant. And then declared value, again, being how much would it cost you to purchase this card again if you are going to, you know, have to buy another one if it's lost. So we're going to do our declared value. I'm just going to put 20 bucks. I don't think it's worth that much, but just for the purposes of this video teaching, that's how we're going to put it. Very simple, guys. Pokemon, English language, the name of the card number, the set name, the year. If there's a subvariant, it could be Amazing Rare, it could be Reversed Holo, could be Cracked Ice Holo, could be all kinds of different things. And then the declared value, okay? And then we're going to press Next. And this is where you decide what service you're going to send off on. Normally, I would send this off in a bulk service. You know, you can see my price is $7.20 because I get a little bit of a discount. And then I would send it off for subgrades so I could have subgrades on the card, okay? I'm not going to select that right now for the purpose of this video because it won't let me go any further unless I submit 50 cards. But we're going to go to Economy. So we would do Economy, and then I would select subgrades because I want subgrades, okay? And then we're going to do Add to Cart. And then, boom, here we are again with, you know, to put another card in. And then when you're ready to go and you've got everything submitted, you just view your cart and check out. Oh, look, here's my 2 Celebes that I've put in. Awesome, awesome. 36 bucks total. Let's go ahead and go to checkout. Okay, you're going to have all your information, which I'll have blurred out. Make sure all your information is correct. I just select the USPS registered and insured mail. It's easy. Yes, the shipping is expensive. It's part of the service. It's part of the cost. Press Next. And then here's where you'll put in all of your credit card information to submit. And then you'll put all that information in, and then you'll get another printing label. Very simple. Print up that printing label, and then you get all your stuff packed up and follow those instructions on the printing label, and then pack it up, and then you send it off. So super simple process. So let's go over to my normal setup, my normal table top-down little setup, and I'm going to show you guys how to package your cards to send off to CGC. I'm going to show you how to pack them up to keep them nice and safe, everything that you need to do. Obviously, any card that you send, you're going to have a lot of different opinions, guys, but any card that you send, you should put in a card saver 1, just like this, in a sleeve and then top loaded in this. A lot of people are going to say a bunch of different things. Well, you can send in a top loader, blah, blah, blah. I don't care what any of those people say. Just do it this way. It keeps you from having any additional fees. It keeps you from having any issues. And it's just simpler. And then they all sit together and stack really, really well together. And then they can all go together really well when you're shipping them. So let's go over to the table in our normal part of the studio. And I'm going to show you guys how to package your cards so that you can ship them safely. All right, guys, I'm going to show you how to pack up your cards when you're sending them off to be graded. It doesn't matter what company you send them to, whether you send them to CGC, PSA, Beckett, pack them up the same way, and you're going to be safe, and everything's going to be nice and protected no matter what you do, okay? So here are a bunch of cards that we will be submitting, and, you know, it doesn't matter what they are. But they're all already in our card saver 1s because that's the only thing that you really should be sending them in. People will debate and say, yeah, you can send them in top loaders, blah, blah, blah. Here's the reality, guys. Card saver 1s are not hard to find anymore. I would stock up on them before they go crazy. But it keeps them uniform, and it makes it very simple to send in and then get them out once they're there. So we have all of our cards in our card saver 1s, okay? And the way we're going to pack this up is super duper simple. You just take some small pieces of cardboard that I've cut out, all right, and boom, right there. The cardboard is a little bit bigger than our card saver 1, okay, not a lot, just a little bit bigger. That way, when we put our rubber bands on it, it is not going to, you know, mess up our cards. It's just going to hold everything in place. So you've got the card saver 1s, you've got the cardboard around your card saver 1s, and then you put some rubber bands around it to keep everything tight and in place, and the rubber bands kind of effectively keep your cards from sliding out. And again, very important to put pieces of cardboard around that are just a little bit bigger than card saver ones, so that your tension from the rubber bands is going on the cardboard and not on your cards or your card savers. So that is going to be really well protected just like that, okay? And then the next thing you want to do, it's very, very simple. Okay, you want to get yourself some bubble wrap. This is not a complicated process. Packing cards to ship for grading is very simple and does not take a ton of work. Look at this, bubble wrap, bada bing, bada boom. You got it all wrapped up. If you want to be super, super extra careful, or if you're sending in cards that are really, really valuable, you can double box. So you can get like an extra box like this that's, you know, very small, and put them in there, and then you can box this all up and then put this smaller box inside of a bigger box, but we're not going to do that. But you can do that if you just want a little bit of a double box. And then you just take your box that you have, okay, and put your cards in there. Boom. Our cards are in card savers. Our cards are wrapped in cardboard. Our cards are in bubble wrap. And then beyond that, we're going to even take some more bubble wrap and put it on top, okay, to create like an extra layer of padding. And then you're going to tape all that shut. And listen, they're not moving around at all. These are very secure. So this is going to be shipped and insured. This is a very secure way to send your cards. So just tape all that up, and then make sure you put your sheet in here that you print up after you get your submission made. You know, PSA or Beckett or CGC, they'll give you a little sheet that's basically it's your product list, your packing sheet. You make sure to put that in here, and you make sure that your cards are in order in your submission in the same way they're in order on the slip. So on my slip, if it said Raikou, Jirachi, Zamazenta, Rayquaza, and Zamazenta, I want them stacked like this, and then do all those steps with the cardboard, rubber bands, pack it up just like this. If you don't do it like that and say that's the order that they're in, but I have it all out of order, you could get an extra charge. So you just want to make sure that you put them, when they're stacked up, in the order that they're on in the packing slip. In CGC, you just put your packing slip in here and then you send it off. PSA, you put your packing slip in and then you have a little extra piece of paper that you'll like attach to the side, and then you send it off and drop it off at the post office or wherever you're shipping it from, and this will ship very, very safely and nicely. And guys, it's really as simple as that. It doesn't have to be any more difficult to pack. If you're only sending one card, you do the exact same thing. You just use a lot more bubble wrap. All right, guys, and that's really all there is to it. It actually is a really simple process. The hardest part really is if you're doing a bulk submission, it just takes some time to put them all in, but it's really not hard. The only thing that I think will be a little bit of a hang-up for some people is that PSA is not accepting new memberships. So if you don't have a PSA membership currently, you can't send something in yourself. Now, watching this down the line, that may be different. That will open up again. So as you're watching this, PSA may be open for memberships again. But currently, even if you do have a membership, you can only send off at the $50 tier, which will get you your card back in about 6 weeks. But you don't want to send off, you know, just any card. Like, you wouldn't want to send off this Celebi for $50 to be graded, because it's not worth that. That's why I do prefer CGC right now. I do believe that CGC will be better in the future and will be just as, you know, valuable and respected as PSA over time. But with CGC, they're open. You can get new, you know, you can make new accounts. You can do bulk, and it's relatively quick. I think their lead time is going to be 65 days here pretty soon. The prices that you saw on the website for CGC, they are going to go up a little bit, but I made this video before that price increase, but everything is still the same. So my preference right now, if you're watching this while it's a relatively newer video and you're just wanting to get cards graded, CGC is simple, it's easy, it's cheap. But PSA is still an option if you have nicer cards. I sent some of my vintage, you know, my vintage Charizard and Blastoise and all those off to PSA, so that option is still there. And if you really, really want to send to PSA bulk, find yourself a middleman. There's middlemen all over the place through, you know, Safari Zone and Hydro Pump Discord and all kinds of different places. So you can find that information yourself by just asking around. But that's really all there is to it. You just make sure you pack it all up, kind of like I showed you. Make sure you put your printing, your packing slips in your box. Make sure it's insured properly. Make sure your cards are in the exact order that they are on the packing slip. And it should be pretty easy and seamless after that. So drop me a comment down below, guys. Was this video helpful for you guys? It's a simple process, and I really think this will teach a lot of y'all how to do it and not be intimidated doing it. So drop me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. Alright guys, well I hope I earned your subscription today, and I hope you'll check out some of my other videos. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscription button and that notification bell. And like I always say, find somebody to love and serve today and be the change you want to see in the world. We'll see you next time.